G'day guys, Shawnee from Life and Tennis. So with the US Open wrapping up recently, I thought I'd take a chance to reflect on the tournament as a whole and even look ahead at the Davis Cup, which commenced overnight on Tuesday. So it's been a big 2 weeks at Flushing Meadows with Sinner and Sabalenka emerging victorious in the singles, and the Aussie boys come on, Jordan Thompson and Maxi Purcell winning the doubles. That was very exciting for me. You also had Ostapenko and Kichonovok, sorry if I mispronounced her name, winning the women's doubles, and Irani and Vavasori taking out the mixed. So along the way, there's been some fascinating talking points, particularly the great run of the Americans that I mentioned in my previous video, with 4 making the semis. Tiafoe, Fritz, Pegula and Navarro. And Fritz and Pegula making the final, and unfortunately both losing in straight sets to the eventual champions. Now, I posed the question of whether we are now seeing the next era of American greats, with 10 players in the top 20 in both the men's and the women's tour. Very curious to hear what you guys think about that. It seems that American tennis is back, whether there's this American resurgence now. And we've seen a similar thing with the Aussies, with De Minaur, Popyrin and Thompson all leading the charge for the Aussies, having good runs at the US Open as well. I particularly liked Sinner's speech after the final when he dedicated the trophy to his aunt. He said, "I love tennis, but off court there is life also." And I really like that sentiment. He expressed a similar sentiment at the Australian Open earlier in the year. I actually attended the press conference after the match. But on court, he thanked his parents for giving him so much freedom, for allowing him to basically choose, what he wanted to do. And he said he wished everyone had parents like that. So he's mentioned that word life a lot, that, there's more to life than tennis. And I guess that's also one of the inspirations behind my YouTube channel, Life and Tennis, because we're all tennis obsessed, but there is more to life than tennis. So I really like that sentiment. It really shows how grounded Sinner is as a player, and he doesn't take it for granted either. He's just such a mature, well-spoken young man. So I thought it was great to see that. And with Sinner and Alcaraz sharing all 4 Grand Slams this year, the first time that's happened since Novak and Rafa did that in 2019, I think we can officially say now that there is a changing of the guard. The changing of the guard is here, basically, with both players now firmly establishing themselves as Grand Slam champions. Having said that, I still think Novak has maybe one more Grand Slam title in him. I mean, write him off at your peril, but he definitely appears to be slowing down a bit. Age finally appears to be getting to him. And as I mentioned before, he'll have to get past either Sinner or Alcaraz or both. And even you've got, Medvedev and Zverev and a lot of these other guys and these American guys too, that are no longer making it easy for him, to kind of just cruise through a Grand Slam. Not that he ever cruised through Grand Slams, but I felt like prior to, say, 2 years ago, a lot of these players who hadn't won their first Grand Slam title were still searching for that, and there was still that pressure, late in the tournament. Whereas now, Alcaraz has won 4 Grand Slams, Sinner now has won 2. As I said, they firmly established themselves as the best players in the world right now. So they know how to play in those big moments, with all the pressure on them, basically. As for the women, Sabalenka is clearly the best hardcourt player in the world right now, with Swiatek definitely still the clay queen. Wimbledon is probably the only tournament that's open slather at the moment on the women's tour. I would say there's probably not really any players I can think of on the women's tour that will dominate, on grass or at Wimbledon. It tends to be, you often will see a, surprise player winning, or not a surprise player, but you'll often see a different player winning Wimbledon each year. Neither Sabalenka nor Swiatek has made a final yet at Wimbledon, so that's still a tournament that they're yet to kind of break through at. So it'd be interesting to see what happens next year on the women's tour. But looking ahead, we've also got the Davis Cup, which started on Tuesday night. So in the results so far, we've seen Australia beating France, Belgium beating the Netherlands, Germany beating Slovakia, and Canada beating Argentina in their first group matches, basically. So it'll be interesting to see what happens for the rest of the group matches. the top 2 in each group will advance to the final 8 in Malaga. So yeah, tennis never stops, never sleeps, which we love, of course, as tennis lovers. So yeah, lots to digest and plenty more tennis to come. But yeah, as always, I'm keen to hear your thoughts, guys. So comment below, and as always, like, subscribe for more tennis and life related content. Cheers, guys.